Welcome to Sassy Science! Have you ever heard the term designer babies? Well, what is a designer baby? Before we find out, we must find out what DNA is. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is a carrier of genetic information that acts as a blueprint, allowing living things to repair, grow, and reproduce. The atoms in DNA combine to form a double helix, which looks like a spiral staircase. DNA is comprised of 4 nucleotides: A. adenine, G. guanine, C. cytosine, and T. thymine. However, adenine can only pair up with thymine, and guanine can only pair up with cytosine. Because the DNA is so important, it cannot leave the nucleus. Therefore, a copy is created, RNA. RNA determines the sequence of the 20 amino acids, which are the building blocks used to make proteins, which do everything. So, to simplify things, DNA creates RNA, which results in the sequence of amino acids, which make proteins which perform various functions within the cells. Cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, and organs make up organ systems, which make up the entire organism, aka you and me. So basically, DNA is what makes us who we are. DNA is the code that defines everything about you, from the way you look, feel, and act. Phenotypes are the physical traits, or how you look, and genotypes are what make you look like you do. An allele is the gene that determines how you look. These alleles can be dominant or recessive.
Did you know it is possible to change the sequence of your nucleotides? Well, it is. This is called gene therapy. By doing so, you would be changing your entire genetic makeup, meaning it is possible to alter the genes your parents contributed to you. So to answer the main question, the product of this is a designer baby. A major plus to this procedure is that it would prevent various genetic diseases. So a cure for all genetic problems. Sounds good, right? But what other issues come along with these cures when using gene therapy? Well, for starters, gene therapy is literally changing what God has specifically created you to be. What or who has given you the right to determine the outcome of a person's life? Another thing, when a person is genetically changed, they are brought up with expectations of great success. If external factors cause them not to be successful for whatever reason, they will have to continue living life feeling like a failure, even though they have no way of controlling it. People already struggle with this today. Why add fuel to the fire? And just take a second to imagine this. How we look, act, and behave would be left in the hands of our parents. And let's be honest, do we really trust the people who lied to us about Santa, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy? If gene therapy was available to the public, it would probably be extremely pricey, and those who are trying to cope with illnesses or diseases may not have the money to go through with the process. So if not everyone would be genetically modified, what does this mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means genetic discrimination. If a person was to be genetically altered, they are probably going to be more accepted by society as opposed to someone who's not. If the research from the Human Genome Project was to be applied, then it should only be acted on in certain situations. However, we believe that they should not be able to change someone's physical appearance, such as their hair color or eye color. So no to physical desires and yes to health needs.
So, a designer baby is someone who has been genetically transformed to the desires of another, changing their personal view of how they look at themselves and the world around them. If we change something as small as a gene in their DNA to make such a big and literally life-changing difference, we'd be tainting humanity. We say no to designer babies, because why try creating someone else's life for them when God has already done it? And now, you're educated on the topic of designer babies. You're welcome.